Okay. Hello, hello, hello. I am Justin, and welcome to the bonus day for the Launch with Pride 2023 event. I am your host. So, if you've been here for the whole week or catching up on the replays, you sort of know what the drill is. The goal for this event has been to help LGBTQ plus entrepreneurs create a custom marketing plan for this upcoming Pride season. Um, it's been a fun journey. There's been a lot of lessons, a number of questions, and a number of ways just trying to provide support to the queer entrepreneurs who are able to show up. I believe that we have the solutions for our community and that we are able, our businesses are better able to serve and meet the true needs of our community. And that helps also us keep resources within so that we can support the nonprofits and the activists and the organizations that are doing some of the really hard work of keeping us equal and protecting the queer lives and of our friends, families, and those in our community. So what have we, so the goal of today is what's next? We've done the 4 days of the challenge and where are we moving towards? So let's first go with a little summary of what we decided, what we've been talking about. Day one, we opened up with pride in our purpose, aligning our vision and our values to the purpose of our business, sort of setting that foundation so that as we move along with the other topics within business, we have a guiding point. We have a compass of sorts. So we talked about how to create a vision and some of the characteristics a vision should have. And then we talked about values and how connecting our values to our vision is one way for us to stay authentic in what we're doing and stay aligned. Day two, we talked about our product or our offer. So it must solve a problem. What problems does our offer solve? What outcomes do we promise with our offer? And reminding that the offers is more than just the bare service or the product, but it's what you bring to it as a whole. So thinking of ways how you show up can be part of the offer, as well as bonuses and ways that you can help provide your customer with more benefits so that they can succeed. Yeah, and then we also talked about, again, thinking of how you can align your values and who you are and how you show up in that offer so that it can stay aligned and authentic to who you are as a person. The next day, we talked about pride in our people. So who do we choose to serve? We talked about the importance of niching down so you can choose a specific group of people to serve because that makes it easier to serve them, makes it easier to know their problems, it makes it easier to know how to best market to them. We talked about ways to go deeper. So not just staying at a surface level, but thinking about what are their interests, what gives them joy, who are their role models, and then going even deeper than that, what are their values? What are their core beliefs that they have? And sort of the idea of doing this is the more you can understand your customer, the easier it'll be to market to them because you actually know their problems. You actually know what they're going through. And we also talked about on both days, sort of thinking of how to make the customer your hero, the hero of the story, right? Your business is your customer's goal is not to be your customer's goal is not to be your customer. Your customer's goal is to live their lives with meaning and love and joy. Your product, your solution, your offer helps your customer reach that goal. So thinking about knowing your customer deeply allows you to truly understand the story that they are living and how you can help them be the hero in their own stories. And then day four, we talked about pride in our presentation. We went over a number of marketing strategies and frameworks that you can use. And sort of the thing I tried to hone in and talk about is they all work. It's just about knowing which ones would work for you and your business and your customers. So we talked about the customer journey, just reminding you that, every customer is in their own place, or it's step zero, if you will, and your solution is going to help them get to that final step. So thinking about where might they be, that will determine what kind of marketing you need to reach out to them. If they are not aware of a problem, they're not looking for a solution yet. So if they are aware of a problem, now it's where are they going to start looking for solutions? Where are the places that they might be? And the reason why that's important is, again, we're trying to make a marketing plan, have a marketing strategy. If you don't know where your customer is, if you don't know what's going on in their lives, if you don't know their actual problems, or if they're searching for solutions yet, your marketing has to do all of that. But if you're able to narrow down on where they are, what their problems are, what solutions work with them, how you like to serve them, what outcomes you provide, now that marketing just has to cross this gap. So the goal is for you to have marketing that works for both you and your customers. So we talked about that customer journey. We also talked about the idea of the marketing funnel. So sort of starting with awareness, interest, consideration, and that's sort of the process that people go through in their minds when it's time to make a decision and this one to purchase. So being aware of it, being aware of the problem, being interested in finding a solution, considering different alternatives, making the intention to go with one alternative, and then evaluating that to say if they really truly want to make that decision. And then once all that's been accomplished, they're ready to purchase. So remembering that whole process there. And sometimes a funnel and a journey is sort of overline, from awareness, you might have a whole journey. Within interest, there's its own journey. Consideration, similarly. So being able to be aware of that, so that as you put out your marketing materials, you can say, okay, if someone's in that consideration stage between my solution and others, I am putting out a specific piece of content, or I'm running a specific ad, or I'm giving a specific lead magnet checklist template. I'm sharing a specific case study where someone else was in that position. They were considering alternatives, and here's why they chose us. And that way you're able to have a very targeted message so that it'll stand out more and people can resonate with it. Then we talked about storytelling, which I believe is the key way that humans connect and humans learn and understand things. So using storytelling as your default strategy, no matter what framework or method you use. How can I tell this in a story so that people can connect to it? And then once they connect to that, then they can put themselves in that story and make themselves the hero and understand what you're trying to help them accomplish. There are many different ways to tell stories. We talked about a couple frameworks, and yeah, I think stories, just everything you do, there's a story there. If you look at the customer journey, that's a story. If you look at the marketing statement below, I help blank people achieve this through this, that is a story as well. So yeah, using story as a basis for our marketing is going to be one of our strongest selling points. And then lastly, we also mentioned social proof. So I can tell you everything about working with me, but if you get someone else's testimonial, you have someone else who provides a review, you have someone else who shares their experience getting that outcome and using your product, that is very much key in making a presentation, very key in helping people make the decision to choose your offer, your product, and what you are doing. And then, yeah, we came up this statement. It's just a little sort of Mad Lib where you can enter the specifics for your business into this framework. And having that sort of one sentence description of what I do is really helpful because it makes it easier for you to tell people. And by you looking at it, if it does look a little not so great, we can work on that. You can work on that. You can think of how can I better describe the people I serve? How can I what's a better desired outcome? For example, if you're selling a course, the desired outcome is not to learn the new thing, but the desired outcome might be to implement that to get a raise, fix my relationship, start a new relationship, make money, something that is sort of a tangible outcome. That's what people really want, and not focusing so much on the need. But yeah, so having that aligned statement can be super helpful, just to keep you focused. And that way, again, if you're running an ad, if you're updating a landing page, making a lead magnet, using any of these different marketing strategies, you can say, does it point back to the statement? Is it clear that this statement and this product I'm selling, the words I'm using are aligned and one-to-one? That just makes it a lot easier. I know a lot of people have trouble when it comes to coming up with content for social media, or thinking of how to run an ad or what the ad should cover. But sometimes when you have these guiding statements and you already know your vision and your values, you're able to say, okay, what can I say that aligns with that perfectly? You know, you might even just start with that statement and then find a story that connects to it, and then you're sort of done. So that's what we sort of covered on Friday and for the whole presentation. So this was a Launch with Pride challenge, and part of it was the launching, yes, launching our businesses in the Pride season. So thinking about how can we have more pride in our purpose? How can we have more pride in our product? How can we have more pride in our people? And how can we have more pride in our presentation so that we can launch our products, launch our offers during Pride season and beyond, with pride. So I hope that you were able to take a lot of notes and do the homework. The homework is very important so that you can leave with a plan. And along with that, one of the things that I'm doing is I've opened up my calendar for the next couple of days so that we can have a free strategy call. So we can talk about any of the day's topics and how you sort of did the homework, any places you got stuck. If you're unsure of how to fully connect the dots based on what you've already done, I'm opening up my calendar so that we can meet and sort of just discuss that specifically. Some of you have been able to be here live and giving questions and comments. Some of you have been posting in the LinkedIn group or the Facebook group, and I've responded to some of those, and there's also been some individual messages back and forth. But if you want some real-time call and just connection, having a conversation, we can totally do that. So we can talk about how to align your purpose with your business. We can talk about how to up-level your products and offers, how to choose which people you want to serve specifically, how you might present your business to the audience. So that's more in the marketing directly. And then even looking at that marketing statement and how we can up-level it, how we can make it stand out a little more so that it connects at a deeper level. So what happens next? This is a challenge. So the goal of the challenge is a short time event, and the recordings and the replay are available through the week, only sort of for a limited time. It's part of the challenge framework process. No one submitted questions over the course of the weekend, which is okay. I myself have taken a little break and got to enjoy a nice summer weekend, even though it rained here. But if you are going through the replays, the recordings, definitely leave questions in the comments or send in your questions, and I will either answer them as a group or just answer them as they come up so that you can learn more and not be stuck. If there's a way you can get over that and I can support that, I'm definitely looking forward to helping. And I already mentioned that everyone can schedule a free call for a session, and the link is right there. Oops, let's go back, and the link is there, and I'll also put the link in the video and in the comment section below so that you can all get on my calendar and choose a time that works for you. So some people have thought, what happens after this? After the recordings are gone, are there ways we can work together? And yes, there are ways we can work together, and I brought this up on Friday, and I'm just gonna run through it really fast. So right now I'm calling it the LGBTQ Pride Package. And the goal of this is for us to work together to enhance and implement the strategy that we've created over the next 10 weeks. The goal of the next 10 weeks would be a month before Pride season starts, the entire month of June, and a little bit more so that we can sort of work together and we can test things. There are multiple types of marketing strategies that were out there we talked about on Friday, and you may not like them. Some may not fit as well as some others. And I would not want to say, let's do this thing and help you out for the first 4 weeks of May. And then when Pride season gets here, something doesn't work or you're not into it or something changed, and then just leaving you hanging. That's not my goal. That's not my intention. I want all of our businesses to succeed. So the idea of this being 10 weeks long is to give us more time together so we can try something out in the first couple of weeks, see how that goes, review, see how it was authentic, see what worked, see what didn't, and then we can build off of that instead of saying, here you go, and hope for the best. So we'll do that. So it's got there are a number of different sections in this Pride package, and I will try to go quickly. So we're going to do a vision and values deep dive, sort of helping you hone your vision, and we can look at the values that you define for yourself, whether you use that free assessment or a different kind. We can look at them and sort of work through a process to see how much those align with who you are, and or help you find other values that have shown up for yourself throughout life. There's a process. There's a process to do that. It's just we didn't have time during this challenge to actually go super deep into that. So we get to do that. So we can build a deeper foundation, understand your gifts and how you can lean into them. Now, so we get to look at what you've already been doing in your marketing efforts. And so whether you were running ads before, or you have a website or a social media profile, we can sort of review the different efforts that you've been doing, taking what worked, reviewing how you experienced it, and thinking of, okay, how can we make a tweak, or how can we take this really good effort that you've already put in time into, and how we can make it a little bit better and try it possibly in a new medium. So we can do that. So we can do that. And then we can also set some goals. So I appreciate going forward and not knowing where the path is, but sometimes it's good to have a set focus. So we're trying to get 20 clients by the end of the Pride season, or trying to get 100 new users to our app, or we're trying to book 4 cruises for people. I'm not sure what your business goals are, but we can define what those goals are and then find ways so that we can have a plan that can actually reach those goals. And while we're working together, I can help keep you accountable, and we can edit goals as necessary based on our progress. And we'll have action and dates. So let's hit us. Okay, we get to refine our target audience so we can niche down. Some people have said that's always a struggle, but with teamwork, collaboration, we can find ways to niche down that are helpful. And then we can also test them out. If you've got 2 sets of people, we can figure out what kind of marketing you prefer, and then have maybe 2 different messages to those sets of people. And then, whichever one responds, we can put more effort onto that so that we can keep making progress. So that's one way that we can do this. So we'll have a clear profile of your people, and we can do more market research and places to find where your community is. If a tree falls in the forest, didn't make a sound. If you made a website, but you shared it with the wrong people, is it the website that's the problem, or is it where you shared it? So we get to think of ways, by defining a target audience, we can find places where they would be, and then our marketing efforts can actually be tested out, and we can get data back. So we can look at your offer and your product and ensure that look at the deep problems that it's solving, and thinking of those clear outcomes, because sort of the goal of your offer is to help someone go from point A to point B. So if you don't describe point A too well, they may think it doesn't apply to them. And similar with point B, if that's not described well either, they may also not be able to want that solution. You'd be giving something, you don't want to give someone a solution they don't want, because people buy what they want, and our offers and solutions also should give them what they need. So what are the things they really want? How can we focus on that while still giving them the thing that they need? Yeah, and we can think about ways to up-level your offer with either bonuses or extra little things that can be provided so that your customers have more reason to make their decision to purchase, and so they can be served at a higher level. Wow, yeah. So I already said stories are the basis for marketing in my mind. So we can work to come up with different stories you can tell to help showcase your solution, to help connect with your ideal clients, to help even sell your offer at the end of it. So we can create different types of stories, and also helping you practice sharing those stories. So you can have a story and we can just review it, and you can get a little extra support so that it can be tweaked to be a little more clear if you need that. And we can just work together so that you feel more confident when it's time to go and tell that story. And that can also work for like social media posts and YouTube videos. So it's all sort of working together to implement that strategy, right? So we've talked about how focusing on these different areas makes it easier for you to market, because you can just connect your vision to your product and speak to people directly, and then present that in a story. And that's, easy on one level, but sometimes people may need that extra support, or it may not be sure that it's doing what it needs to do. So we can work together on that as well. We'll also create a campaign for one of your offers. So if you wanted to do something like a challenge or a series of emails or social media campaigns, we can sort of decide what that's going to be. We've already defined our goals, and we can say, okay, here's what this one could be. Here's how much effort it would take. Here are some of the checks that we might need to pass before we invest fully. But yeah, so we can do that. So we'll take the plan that you're creating now, that you've created through this challenge, and just go deeper, review each step of it, make sure it's clear, and also make sure that whatever we decide, you are most ready for. I'm not going to tell you to go run a challenge, because I love challenges, but also, they may require more work than some of the others. And so we can always talk about what that looks like. And also support and accountability during that process. For example, this challenge, there's different things going on. There are emails that go out, there are Bitly links, there's homework assignments, there's a video camera connected to Zoom and all the good stuff. So I can also help you out with some of that support. It's not always easy or straightforward. And having someone to hold your hand can be helpful. And then we'll also think about your traffic strategy. How do we get people to your site? How do we get people to your social media profile? How do we get people to see what you're offering? So there's a content calendar that we can use. And if you want to go the organic marketing route, and we can also design sort of a paid ad strategy. So I can sort of go with you into the Facebook Ads Manager, and if you have our niche dialed in, we'll be able to see what ways we can target so that the right people see your audience, see your ad, and then will want to click. So there's all of that over the course of 10 weeks. There is different values for each of those specific elements, and the total value of all that would be $6,200. Which would be $6,200 for the total 10 weeks, because we are doing this challenge and I can only accept a limited amount of people. I'm massively discounting it to I'd rather have fewer people who need it, and we can work on a result, than have too many people and not be able to get everyone the exact time that they need. So based on that, we are going to massively discount it to 10% of that value. So $620, and you will get all of that included. And we will be working together for this over the next 10 weeks so that you can be successful. There's actually a bonus that's not in this, but my goal of our first meeting is to sort of, when we set the goals, our goal is to set a goal. Depending on what your offer is and how you monetize it, to set a goal of $6,200 for you to be able to bring in. Right. We all have different businesses and different pricing structures, but my goal is if I can help you get 10x your investment, one, it pays for itself. And two, I think that's not even that high of a goal to reach. So I think we can definitely do that together. So the bonus would be sort of just, okay, let's get the numbers out and say, how do we get to this number? And then we can backtrack. Okay, we need this many clients or this many offers, or here's what it would take to actually do that. So that is what's going on. That is there. The best way to, if you have any questions, just reach out to me. And also, again, we have a free marketing strategy call. Use that link. If you use that link, you'll go to my Calendly and be able to choose a time that works at your convenience. And then we can talk about it. And if you have any questions about working together and what that looks like, we can talk about that after the call, and we can connect. So let's see. I've talked about everything. I recapped the presentation. I guess the last thing that I would say is there were prizes that were being offered. And right now there are a couple people who are in the lead for the most active prize. Yes, so the person who did the most activity, and then also the person who invited the most people to the challenge. And then there's also a prize for people who've engaged. So either you're here live or you caught the replay and commented replay on it so that I know you bought and so I know that you watched it. Yeah, so there'll be three prizes given out, and those will probably be given out on Friday. So you have till Friday to do the homeworks, review the videos, ask questions, and I would love to learn more and connect about each of your businesses to know what you're trying to do, how we can support you, what you got from this challenge. And I am glad and grateful for those who've taken the time to show up, who've been able to be here live, who've been able to do some of the assignments. It's been a good time. It's been a good time. I am happy that this was valuable to you, and we will talk soon. So have a good one. I will see you all next time. Stop sharing.